Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ikeda.
Hello friends. Today's session is very important because here we actually are going to discuss what are the major key points to help us to get into effective communication over the mail. So let's go through certain major important points which can actually help us to write a better email with complete etiquettes. First of all, the major and the first most important key point is there is a mantra for sending an email. And the mantra which everyone should follow is I promise to send only relevant information to relevant people. That's number one. The day we start focusing on this mantra, I am 100% sure there is nothing irrelevant going out of our system. We are sending the correct information to the correct person with the correct purpose. And that purpose is solved and it's resolved. So once we follow this mantra, friends, it's not that difficult. It's an easy process. We just have to stick to certain ground rules and then only use and practice them in that particular format. The moment you start practicing it, you will be there, and I'm sure it will help you in much better uh, improvements to improve your entire written communication. Also, it would help you to write fantastic emails with fantastic etiquettes. So remember the mantra: to send only relevant information to relevant people. Next would be, let us explore the next key point. Let us explore each part of an email and what does go in, or what goes in them. So when I say explore each part of an email means if it is a to, if it is a CC, if it is a BCC, whether it's the subject line, whether it is the topic of the email, whether it is the starting point of the mail, then the paragraphs of the mail, then the last closing of the mail, anything. So let's get to know each and every part of these mails. So definitely we'll be doing our in the other video, which is called parts of email. We will also be focusing on each and every part of the mail and how important it is and how significant it is to understand these parts of our email. So let us explore each one of them. Let us explore each and every part of our email, and of course let's see what goes in them. Let's see what more we can do to justify how to write an email, right? So this is the other key point of getting into effective email etiquette. Another major important key point is mailbox is something that is used for very relevant and important information. It is not to be, it's not like a storage or a dustbin or a bin or a dumping ground where you just put in all the information all the time and keep loading it with a lot of unnecessary and irrelevant messages. Now this is something where we all do. We do not even bother to go to our inbox, and we do not even bother to empty the inbox. Only when the mail starts giving you a signal, the system starts saying, or the internet starts saying that your mailbox is full, so any more information is not able to come into your mailbox, for which you will have to first delete or send your mailboxes to trash, or dump them into the trash, and only then the new mails will start coming. Is when we actually, it triggers us that, oh my god, I am like 5,000 mails in my inbox. Oh my god, what am I doing? So now I need to, because I have a purpose now that there are other mails waiting for me, I start putting these mails in trash, but otherwise I'm not bothered. So this is something where it's very important to understand that it is not a storage or a bin ground where you can just keep on storing irrelevant messages. Anything which is important and relevant should be there in the inbox. So a practice of going through your emails or your inbox every second day. So after 48 hours, if you go and you find out 48 hours back which all mail hit you which were not important, and start deleting it and putting into trash, it will become a daily practice, and your mailbox will not be as full as it is normally, which is a very good habit. Getting into something like this is reviewing every day what exactly mails are you getting, and so very less chance on missing on the most important mails. So friends, this is a major issue that we all face, and we need to focus on this, and we need to start practicing on emptying our inbox every day, at least 48 hours later. So this is one of the major key points that we all know, but we just do not bother to do. Let's go and let's see the next key point. Very important, as we did in the last session or the last video, is reply all. Now, it's not like I'm standing with a gun with a lot of bullets and I just say shoot. It is only one mail to that relevant person. The mantra that we remember, sending mails to relevant people only with relevant messages. The day we start following the mantra, this will stop. So you will then start focusing only on reply to those people who are relevant to that message and not reply all unnecessarily. This also, friends, we can bring into our practice, and we can save a lot of time, because the mishaps that waste our time later is saved before by spending just 2 minutes more over the mail rather than spending 2 hours later in an explanation and justification. Let's see the other key points. Now, forward. Very user friendly. That's what we ought to keep doing. We just keep forwarding message from one person to the another without thinking whether that person is really interested or is that a relevant information for that person. What do we normally forward in a free time or time pass that we say? We forward jokes, large attachments, weird dancing baby videos. If you're if you're sending it to your friend, it's not funny. It clogs your office mailbox, and the mailboxes are full. Now this is one reason why out of those 500 or 5000 mails that are in your email box, can be possible that out of which 2000 of these are only forwarded by your friends, which is actually clogging your entire mailbox. So get rid of them, and once and for all, stop forwarding yourself. So that's one thing where we can, of course, start practicing on what exactly needs to be forwarded. Not necessary, do not forward. We have other mediums of entertainment, like we have the WhatsApp. We have even WhatsApp. I mean, it wastes a lot of memory of the phone, but that's okay. I mean, that's something more user friendly or more informal, I would say. But mails are definitely a very, very formal way of communication, and we are not doing justice by doing all this with it. So we need to understand that forward is something that we need to really focus on what exactly is the information that we are forwarding, how relevant it is, and again the mantra would help you to solve this issue. Now, to give you an example again on the forwarding, let's see how things get worse. Now, suppose if you have written a mail which is now getting forward to very, very confidential mail, which is now you want to forward that mail to another XYZ friend of yours in the company. So uh, you say, maybe that company HR is your friend, some other company HR is your friend, and you would say, please find attached to my resume, I want to quit this company as soon as possible, I hate my boss and colleagues. Now, this is something very serious. When you're talking about your own company, you hate your bosses and your colleagues, and you're sending that information to another HR of a company. Two things can happen here. Number one is, we do not know what that information, whether even if you're sending to your friend, and if that friend of yours is an HR of the company, what is an impression that you're creating of your own self and your own personality over the mail. You're actually saying that you are a very negative person, taking things very negatively, and that's why you couldn't gel in the office, and that's why you're looking out for a new job. That sounds ridiculous. And other than that, imagine if you again hit on a someone else, if you're like like your same friends, if he's with a name Hitesh, and you have three Hiteshes, and one of him is also in you working in your office, and imagine if you hit that Hitesh, a send button to that Hitesh, whether you leave the job or not, you get a resignation in your hand the very next day, that's for sure. So that's why forwarding is also a process where we need to concentrate. Whom are you forwarding? What information? What confidential? What what are the messages that I shouldn't go out? And that's why forward is very, very important of what you're doing, and we really misuse it. Please stop misusing it, friends. Let's get into serious business over email, right? Let's move on to the next key point. Yes, our favorite, attach. So any kind of information that like a company information where you have a complete attachment to it, we keep attaching the file and we keep sending without taking the initiative of writing certain messages in the mail. We just say please find attached, gone. There is, hardly anything to say about, so dear so and so, please find here with attached my file, or blah blah blah, nothing. We just do p uh, pfa, and that's gone. But many a times, what if you are attaching a file where you forget to attach that file? Suppose if you said please find attached, and you just sent without actually attaching the file, and you forgot to attach the file. And imagine if the file has a proposal of worth 10 lakh rupee, which was real benefit to you. Now, because there is no attachment sent, and you just, it's just gone without an attachment, or even if you write a beautiful mail and if still you forget to attach, now that person whom you were trying to set up an impression upon of yourself, of your personality, now has started thinking, what a careless attitude. She is a completely careless personality. When she can forget to attach such a crucial information, she can definitely forget everything. That's a completely careless kind of a feeling that I get when I read and I go through your mail. So this is something which is very important, friends. We need to cross check whether did we really attach what we had to, whether our mail sounds like we are attaching something, or whether it's just very vague. So we have to focus on this very well, and this is one of the major issues which normally happen in big corporates, where we are in a lot of hurry. We have pressure of 200 mails per day, and then we just send something without an attachment. The customer or anyone, the reader comes bashing on us saying that where the hell is the attachment. Now another major issue is in the to bracket, we mark too many relevant people to take one single action. Now, suppose what happens is, suppose if I want some HR activities to be followed in my process or in my work, and if I feel that no, when I write to the higher authorities and when I keep them in two, that is when my work will be done. So I write to the HR, to the head HR, to the regional head, to blah 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 blah, all the different categories of people or levels of people ahead of me. And then I expect that okay, now my work will be done, because I have actually put in so many people into the loop that now something not getting done is not accepted. I'm not saying that's completely a wrong thought, but what I'm saying is the process is wrong. This can be done if initially you write a mail and that is not sorted. You again write a warning mail if it is still not sorted. You can then start CCing your people rather than putting everyone in the two category. You can start CCing your maybe 2-3 higher authorities who should know that you're going through these issues. And every time you write a mail, you always write that after the first reminder, this is my second reminder for so and so, this is my third reminder for the same thing, this is my fourth reminder. So when you're writing the fourth reminder and now you're doing a CC to all of your superiors, now they know, okay, oh, after 3 rounds of continuous reminders given to that particular person for doing a particular thing, now it is the time where it is a high time for you to not tell anyone else and not keep anyone else in the loop, and that's why you're now emailing to them. So make it a process, friends. Don't just barge on something just because you need to get that sorted ASAP or as soon quickly, but keep it a process of how to go about. And this is a very important etiquette where everyone feels that you've done justice. Otherwise, anyone who's doing your work would not enjoy doing it anyway. So this is one thing. Always understand not to have too many email addresses in your to column. Okay, let's go to the next key point. Now when we say CC, now do we really know what is CC? CC is basically marked for certain the mail should go to only those who are relevant for that particular information. So suppose if I'm marking a project plan to my colleague where I feel that my boss should know about the project that we are planning on, I put a CC to him. So that's a completely relevant information which we feel that that person should know, and he would have his opinions to give us, and it would make a betterment or an improvement to our entire plan. This is when we use CC, not normally when we use CC. Especially people use it only when there are complaint mails. So they send reminders and reminders and not done, they put so many names in the CCs because they just want to get the work done at the end of the day. No, take it the other way around also, friends, where CC is used only to mark where there is certain relevant information, where there is a scope of improvement, where you will come up with the betterment of writing a mail in that particular way. So CC is marked in that particular manner. Now let's go through what is BCC. BCC is something which is written to a person who we do not want to express to other peoples, and we do not want other peoples to know who this mail has also gone through. Now this is completely confidential. This is a sneaky bit, I would say, of an email where most people won't open it. So many people would not open it, but unless and until we have a purpose to put it into BCC, only then those people would open the BCC and see, oh, I have put in BCC, let me see what there is, something to share, or what is the information that I need to read, which is so confidential. We must definitely avoid it in an official mail. Normally when you put in a BCC, the other peoples do not come to know, but I feel we should avoid when we are doing an official mail, because the more you are transparent at work, the more it's better. But at the end of the day, there are some times when you really really need to put your hands on a confidential matter which some person needs to know and it's important. We need to use the BCC. So it's a very very what you say it's a very very private or very very confidential way of talking to a person, and that's why it has to be used very carefully. This is only when you don't want anyone else to know what you exactly want to say to that particular person. This is the use of BCC. This I think is the major key important point of an email. Not many people know what BCC is, so here it is. This video has made you smart enough to understand what BCC is. Now the subject line is another key point. Now subject line is something where a clear subject line tells the reader what to expect. Now if I am writing a mail with a very clear subject line that this is what my mail is about, the reader understands and accepts your mail in that particular way, the way you want him to understand. That's very important. Now this is somewhere I would say your and that reader's connection would get stronger, because this is the point where you now are focusing your thoughts getting interpreted into his thoughts by writing one simple and straight subject line where that person exactly knows what he's going to read in your mail, and now he knows, because he knows, he's focused. So friends, we have to be very sure and alert of our subject lines. Please do not write vague subject lines. Please do not write out of the box kind of subject lines. Keep it short, straight, simple, very relevant to your topic. Content. Now let's go to the content after the subject line. Of course, always use a spell check. We are all blessed that right now we are into a technology where we have this spell check option always with us. We also have a grammar check option. So wherever we are going wrong on our spellings, or wherever we are going wrong with our grammar, this corrects automatically for us. So it's very important to use a spell check or a reread, or maybe you can also reread your mail once again to avoid embarrassing mistakes. I'll tell you some of the embarrassing mistakes that you can see here. She say the mail says, "Dear Mr. Varshanoy, sorry for late reply. I will immediately check all the mails you sent me in detail." So, here, if you see properly, there is a spelling mistake and there is a big grammar mistake. So, if you see I will, that's WILL, and it's written WIL. So, this is one blunder that he's made already. He says check all the mails. Instead of writing MAILS, he's written MALES, which means male, the gender male. And he's saying now I will check I'll check them in detail. So it is a very serious mail, but it's so funny when you read this kind of mail, and then definitely it is very very disturbing also if it's sent at that particular level. So friends, please use a spell check. Now a spell check and a grammar check would have helped you to improve this kind of mistake always. So This is very important. Whenever you're writing a mail, of course, go through it, but then other than that also is what you can do, take advantage of the beautiful technology that we have and use spell check and grammar check also. Sign off. Now when you say sign off is your signature. So this is very important. We are in a very very formal pattern of communication right now, and there are simple patterns also where you say thanks and regards. At the same time, there are also very very informal way of signing off, like tata, bye bye, see ya, with a lot of love, xyz. When you are really writing, so this is good when chat over your WhatsApp or chat on any other mode of communication. But when you talk about emails, even the most informal email has to be signed off formally, and formal email, of course, very formally. So if you see how the Vice President, Mr. Amrita, Miss Amrita Anand has done her signatures. Is she says thanks and regards, Amrita Anand, Vice President, Star Business House, phone number so and so, office number so and so, address so and so. So now here she is not only mentioning about regards and thanks, that's like a sign of signage, but she's also mentioning her name, which is very important. What else she mentions is her position in that particular organization, because everyone actually knows you by the position more than anything else. That's very important. The next thing she's doing is she's of course writing the name of the organization, because the organization that she belongs to and has given her that title, we definitely need to know the name of the organization as well. So she's done that. The next thing she's done is the phone numbers, where you can now get in touch with her directly, which helps you communicate better. And of course, the last thing is the address, where if there is a place to go, you know where this place is, from where she belongs. In this, not always can we have these kind of signatures. Yes, this is a complete formal signature, but suppose if you're just sending not a very formal mail, what you need to put minimum is of course a signing off, like thanks and regards, your name, your contact details, your position, company name. Address is something that if you really need to put, you put it, but many of the brands have the address, and that's the way they address or sign off professionally and formally on an email. So this is a very very important, friends. Your signature is very important at the end of your mail, because after writing such a formal and beautiful mail, if you miss on your signature, you're left with nowhere. You again have done a biggest blunder. So this is very important, friends. Let's start practicing and let's have signature to each and every mail of ours. So these were certain key points which are very very important to make your emails effective. I am sure if you follow these key points the way they are to be followed and the way they are to be, take them as a mantra, I am 100% sure that you will be in a better position to write emails, to follow the email etiquette. People would take you seriously, and also you would have a stand and a hold in your professional circle of being the most professional person to write an email with good email etiquette. It would make your mail very very effective. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned to Etiquette and also subscribe to our channel. There is a bell icon. If you like the video, please press the bell icon. Thank you.